Yeah, welcome everybody to our first event in 2013. I think we have some pretty interesting talks today, but first. Yeah, we have some pretty interesting talks today, but first the obligatory stuff. Thanks a lot to our sponsors, Best Western Hotels Post, for the room here for, every month for over a year now. And IT Services Jan Sternut. Yeah, thanks for providing equipment and doing a lot in the background. And Team Neustar, a local software company in Bremen, for providing shirts and the rooms for several events in last year. Then a small overview about peak meetups here in Bremen. There's a lot of going on recently. The Bremen.js, Bremen JavaScript user group is meeting every second Monday, is that right? Yeah. So next Monday, is there already a topic?
Hopefully.
Okay. Then, our hackerspace open for public audience every Monday. You're very welcome there. Then, newly founded Jack Bremen Java user group, meeting for a second time, 15th January. Then I recently stumbled about it, a Rails user group named HB, meeting on the 6th of February. Yeah, but what's coming along on interesting events for you, Google developers? Our next meeting is on the 4th February. We have no topic yet, but we will find something. When you feel like you could talk about something or present your project, please tell us, post it to the mailing list, or just ask us. Yeah, then an event I'm really excited about, the Broadcon in Berlin, happening in April, over 3 days. There will be a hackathon, a barcamp, and a conference. Stefan, you are part of that, I think?
Yes.
Can you already say something?
What exactly do you want to know?
Topics?
Topics are still in the final move to include the latest and best tech. There are some new ideas about, for example, automotive and Android in all kinds of household appliances. So yesterday I saw a post that there's an oven with an included camera, so you can do your food porn while it's cooking within the oven. Maybe something like that. And for those who were at one of the last DroidCons, there will be a new venue. We have a new, bigger venue with more rooms and less stair climbing. So this will be very exciting, and I think the info on the program will come beginning next month. So you will have plenty of time to get your tickets, so you know what you get for that.
Yeah, sounds good. Then, of course, there's a Google I/O coming along this year, happening in May. But yeah, you all know Google. There's nothing announced yet. But for today, first we have our monthly tech roundup, presenting some stuff that recently happened in the Google developers world. For example, there's now a new Google Maps Android API with all the cool stuff you know from the official Google Maps app. For example, you can rotate the maps, you can use 3D maps, and there's finally a map fragment. Then there's now a YouTube Android Player API. With that you can put a YouTube video directly into your app and play it in there. Yeah, then in-app billing for Android got updated to version 3. That shall be a lot more stable and easy now. Yeah, then App Engine got updated to 1.7.4. Steve? Yeah, you're our App Engine guy. Can you say something about it?
Some bug fixes. Doing something. This one, last one. About Java 7. But I don't know anything.
Nothing great.
It was Christmas.
Okay,
Very
then.
importantly, you support.
Martin, can you say something about it?
You support.
Okay, there's now a private app listing for Google Play, so companies using a Google domain can now publish their apps, and so in that way that just their employees can see these apps in Google Play. It's pretty cool, I think.
Is it free? Like in
I don't know exactly, sorry.
Okay.
Then I'm using recently a lot Chrome Free Drive extension. With that you can save pictures or links directly to a drive. And
It's very cool with Chrome OS.
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't want to save stuff on your hard drive,
Yes,
on your
yes.
SSD.
Then a feature I don't think I will ever use, but I think it's pretty important to keep the platform open. So in future updates of Chrome, you will be able to change the used search engine that is used on top in the Chrome Omnibar.
Other search engines is possible for years now.
In the Omnibar?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Omnibar.
The blog post I've read.
Never tried.
Yeah, okay. So, today, our 15th. Our 15th.
One thing I forgot is global game jam.
Global Game Jam, yes.
25th to 27th
Yeah,
January.
you say it loud.
If you are interested, Matze just forgot this, there will be Global Game Jam in Bremen from 25th to 27th of January. There's Google Plus event if you want to participate, and you can, you have to register there. There's kind of difficult to do this. And if you have questions about this event, go to Dirk. He will tell you more about this. Maybe he can tell now what it is exactly.
So, I think most of you know that the local game jam is a global event, so we are hosting at the university the local event for Bremen. Last year we had about, I think, 100 participants, and the goal of the event is to create a computer game or a board game within about 48 hours. There will be some kind of topic announced in the beginning of the jam, which everybody should try to include into the game we created.
Sorry for forgetting that.
No, I forgot it too, so. And we have lots of more information on our website, and it's
I suggest you post a comment on the event.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, what's going to be here today? First, Stefan Roth, co-organizer from GDG Berlin, will introduce us to Ingress. Then our guest Philip from Google Prague will talk about Dart and do the code lab after it. And yeah, after that, when there's still time, I don't think so, there will be room for discussion and networking. yeah, have fun today, and yeah, our network when you're interested. And before I forget it, when you like what we are doing here every month, please hit the button. Go to that page, search for Bremen and hit the button. Yeah, thanks. Then a small break and next will be Stefan. So.
Hi, I'm Stefan, I'm from Berlin, and I'm happy to be here to introduce you into Ingress. First off, who knows Ingress already? So there's like a third of the room that doesn't know it yet. Who is currently playing it and just don't know it? Oh, so it's on, Martin. So the only thing you have to know about Ingress is the city has to be blue. No? So when I stepped out today from the train and got out of Central Station, I stumbled across this ugly greenish thing, and I had to correct it, and a few minutes later it was shiny blue, and now I can speak here because it's safe territory now.
I will correct it later again.
You can try to correct it, yes. Which level are you on right now?
6.
Ah, shit, I'm 2. So, okay. Now to the content part. Yeah. I'm already showing full screen, but I will allow it anyway. So, I don't understand this properly. So, what's Ingress? Ingress is a location-based augmented reality massive multiplayer online mobile game developed by Niantic project. This is a company that's now belonging to Google. So what is it? No, okay. Was a lot of buzzwords. So as you already knew from the first screenshot, there's a green, the bad one, and the blue, the good one side. And they are called, the greens are the enlightened, and the blue side is called resistance. This is after you played the tutorial, when you first started Ingress, you have to choose sides, and there's nothing really what makes you choose it. It's just a feeling, a gut feeling maybe. If you feel more belonging to the resistance and fighting for something you maybe know from the first bits of the story you got to know through the tutorial, or if you feel going the path of the enlightened feels more right to you. So that's up to you. And either way, you will be joining the beer.
Einmal das Bier, ja? Einmal für Sie, das große, richtig?
Yeah. So you will be joining a global team because all players of the faction play in one team. So you have 2 teams worldwide, and you can always check out via the app or a special website. I can show you later. You can always check out how's the score, the global score. How the score will be changed, I explained during my talk, but you can always see every morning, every day, check out how the world is doing, and if you have to put more effort into it and maybe go for a walk extra, or if you can lay down on the couch. So, first, like in every game, you need to learn a few vocabularies, and that's why I'll teach you them. So, first is XM. XM stands for exotic matter. This is, according to the backstory, it is some form of energy that's been discovered nearly recently, and it's floating around where many people are. It seems to be connected to the amount of Android devices in local places. So if you go to a train station, there's more likely to find XM than maybe on a deserted street. So this here, these little blips are XM, and you can collect them. You can collect them to raise this bar, which is your energy counter. And if you level up, your energy bar can hold more energy, which you need because higher portals give you more damage and stuff, so, and every action takes energy, so always try to fill this bar while walking around. And if you are really, really low on energy, the screen turns red. I don't know if you can see this in the back. The screen is all filled with red blips, and then you can only see half the screen, and you can't do anything unless you collect so much energy that the bar is filled a bit again, at least.
In the game, we're completely on the whole phone.
What?
Only in the game it's red, right? It's like
No, your phone is red too. You can't call mom unless you collect money.
You need XM to scan the area around you.
No.
Yeah, right. That's why it's red.
Oops.
And the stories, the story and the tutorial told me to collect XM to get the scanner function.
Yeah, sure. The scanner is the gate to doing stuff. So if the scanner doesn't work really, then you can't do anything. Okay, in that way, yes. But it doesn't consume energy by just walking around. Using the scanner doesn't use energy. So next, maybe the most important stuff is portals. You can't place or you can't build portals. You have to accept what Google gives you or what the game is offering you. But you can suggest new portals. So according to the backstory again, portals are mostly connected to architecture and sculptures and some sites. So mostly if you visit a portal, you are likely standing in front of some sculpture or some site, and you have a lot of tourists around you because they do a lot of photos, and these photos were used for the initial uploads of portals. So you see a lot of portals in different namings, even in Russian characters and stuff, just because people from Russia, for example, take this photo. And so you can learn a bit of new languages too, when you read the names of the portals. Next are the resonators. The resonators are kind of the generators which guard your portal. These are, in the map view you see these things. The yellow ones look a bit like pumpkins, and this is how it looks in your inventory, and this is how it looks in the portal view. I can show you this later. There you can see how the portal is configured and how much the energy is. Eine Cola bitte bevor. So you can, here you see different levels already. Here you see an L5, which stands for level 5, level 2, level 1, and so on. At first you start with level 1, and if you keep doing stuff in the game, you gain points, and these points are added to your overall score, and if you hit a certain number of points, then you go up a level, and then you can use items which are level 1 and level 2, and so on. So you keep collecting stuff that you can't use. You walk around with, I am level 6 now, and I still have items on level 7 and level 8, but I can't use them right now. I have to level up to use level 7, for example. These are more powerful, contain the energy, so it's worth going for them, but yeah, I have to wait for them. Next, vocabulary. There's a link and there's a control field. With a certain action I explain later, you can connect other portals.
Ich habe jetzt 2 Cola Light hier. Ja, aber noch eine. Und ein Ginger Ale habe ich auch noch. Ginger Ale.
Sind Sie alles losgeworden?
Ja, ich komme noch mal hoch.
Achso.
Tut mir leid, aber...
Nein, kein Problem. So you can connect 2 portals through a link, and if you connect 3 portals within a triangle, there's a control field, and this is the important part for the global score. How many people live in this area according to Google data, will count as so-called mind units towards the global score. So bigger control fields in highly populated area account for a lot of mind units. Short is MU. Unless you're Russian and you're doing a freaky thing where you put a control field on portals that are in one straight line. Normally it shouldn't work, but somehow they didn't figure that out. So they created a mind unit, a control field with a size of 0, and
Divided by 0.
And they divided by 0 too, which I don't know. The Enlightened got like 700 billion mind units. So yeah, we were crushed for a few days until they fixed this. Yeah. Next one. So if you are in the map view and click on one of those portals, which you only can see if you are there. You can't. There's no view where you can interact really with other portals. You can't browse around like you used on Google Maps. You have to be there. You can only see a few hundred meters around you, and you can only interact with portals in the range of 40 meters. So you really have to move. Yeah? And okay. So
when you have the portal key, you can
yes.
open this view.
I know.
From everywhere.
That's true, but I don't want to jump around, you know.
Okay.
Because then I would have to explain the portal key at first.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see there's a name, sometimes with weird characters. There's a picture, mostly. Sometimes the picture, the portal name is untitled, so it doesn't have much. It's worth there's a list of keys you have for portals, and these are arranged alphabetically. So having some bracket untitled, so it helps you a lot to find the right one. There's a lot of UI changes I would suggest, but this comes after release maybe. So you can hack, you can deploy, you can recharge, you can upgrade, you can target a portal, and you can hit OK. What does this all mean? First, okay, I jumped. No, okay, I have to explain here. But hack a portal sounds dangerous, sounds destructive, sounds, but it doesn't do much. It's only, I don't know if you play role-playing games. If you open a chest in the woods, you find there. Sometimes there are some items in there, and sometimes not. This is the only thing that does it. You hack it, and you get some items into your inventory, and the level of the items are connected to the level of the portal. By the way, this is a Nexus 4, and this is a Nexus 7 shot, so that's why they look different. You can raise the level of the portal by adding higher level resonators to the object. I can explain now. Here in the view you can deploy resonators, which you only can do if you are in the range of the object. You can recharge them because they are not fully loaded now, and you can use your energy bar as long as you have some energy left there to recharge them. If you don't do this and they drop all under 10%, all links go down and you lose even the control fields. So this is not wanted. Then you have the upgrade portal view where you can replace existing resonators with higher level resonators, and you can add so-called mods. By now there's only one mod available, and this is a shield. It comes in 3 different flavors, and the flavors just changed how effective they are. So they are guarding the portal additionally, and makes it harder to destroy the resonators, but not impossible at all. So, and the target portal sounds awesome too, but it doesn't do anything but highlights the portal on your map. So you see how many meters you are away and which direction you should go. And it says portal in range if you are in range, which means 40 meters. It helps you in fields where you have 20 portals in one spot, which is often around sites like the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin or at the Reichstag. Yeah, there are some areas, or at the TV tower in Berlin too. There are so many portals you can't really see.
And it avoids your display going off, turning off.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I thought it's. Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. You can drive by car and collect some X amps by doing that.
Okay. It's always good to put it on if you're en route to somewhere, because it automatically collects and you can't do anything in between. So this is now how you interact with the world. You bomb it. An XMP is a little bomb you can throw. The easiest way to do it is to long press on the map, and then there's a menu popping up and there's Fire XMP. But this uses the highest level you have in your inventory and you are able to use. So sometimes you want to use smaller ones, then you should go into your inventory, select the right one, and then you can fire it from there. So you save some expensive bursters. So how do you do that? So I arrived here in Bremen, all was green, and then I said, okay, I have to destroy it. I looked at the portal, and so okay, it has, this example has 3.3 thousand energy, and these resonators are a bit hit already. So I select the right XMP, I think it's appropriate, like level 4. And I start firing, and the best way to do it is to stand exactly on the resonator. So don't go here, go here. Makes a difference of about 40 meters. So if you would have been at the train station an hour ago, you would have seen me walking like this, and then sometimes the GPS jumps, so you have to jump too. So it's really a matter of a few meters, because the most effective bomb is if you stand right on top of the resonator. You hit a lot of stuff around you, but the most effective is when you're exactly on it.
Kleiner Bier mit, weil das war letztes Mal.
Ach so, super.
So if you bomb long enough and find all resonators, I mean there are one in each compass direction, north, northeast, and so on, so that's not that hard to find, and they have to be in the vicinity of 40 meters. But sometimes it's hard because you have to sometimes burst things that are within buildings and stuff, so it's really not easy, and then you have to use more powerful XMPs with a bigger range to get this. And finally it turns gray, which means it's uncaptured by now. And then you feel success, because here you see an ugly green portal, all connected with links and control fields, and if you hit it long enough, even if not all resonators are destroyed, it's so low on energy that all the fields and links went down. So I can keep on bombing there to turn it gray and recapture it by myself, but this already got me a lot of points by just destroying all the fields. So then I can deploy resonators or upgrade them and have my shiny blue portal, and by then I can start linking them. And before I can link from the portal I stand at to another portal, I need the so-called portal key. The portal key you can get through hacking too. But lately they changed it a bit, and it's way harder to get a portal key. So I had to hack the portals, the 3 portals here in front of the building. I had each 3 times to get the necessary portal keys to make the control field you see now, if you would have been in the game.
We'll just repeatedly hack one portal until we get a key.
Good question. So to avoid spamming the server with hack requests, if you hack a portal, there will be a cooldown time of 5 minutes. So you can't hack the portal after 5 minutes, but you can start hacking the portal again after 5 minutes of a pause. If you do this 3 times, then the pause will raise to 4 hours.
Okay.
So
just for you, or is that for?
it's for you. So your friends can hack it too at the same time, but they have to have the same pauses. And their pauses are depending on when they hacked it and how often.
Unless it's cooled down, if you hack it again, hits you back or whatever.
You get an error.
Oh, okay.
It's in cooldown phase. Wait a few more seconds, or it's written there like wait 240 seconds more, or wait 5 seconds more. 5 seconds is the most annoying message. Damn it! Can't hack again. But there's nothing. It doesn't hurt you then.
Okay.
It only hits you sometimes if you're using the bombs. Then you sometimes get an attack damage, which reduces your energy bar too.
Will you explain how you collect these XMPs or whatever?
Yeah.
Whatever they call them.
Yeah, XMPs, these bombs. If you throw them at the portal hits you.
How do you collect them? Oh, will you explain
through
that?
hacking.
Okay.
All the items you see here, you can get through hacking. And if you want to see if you're so I'm at this portal here, yeah, and I want to see if I have the portal key, I just open the screen you saw, and there's a little icon in the right. Okay, I have the portal key, which means I can then go to this portal and say link portal, and I have this as an option because I have the portal key of this one. So you always have to collect the right keys and then have to move at the portal from where you want to link it. Very, very important, links can't cross. Neither own nor foreign links. So you really have to think before you link.
It doesn't work. You cannot link.
Yeah.
There's an error message. Crossing link or...
Sometimes it works, but
there are some glitches in the visual. That there are some links, for example, 3 green portals having a blue link. So sometimes links persist somehow, but they are not towards the calculation. So the server knows that it's not really existing there. You can get a portal link by chance. If you walk around, you see this green thing here. This is a portal key lying on the map. This happens sometimes if you destroy a portal, which I did with a lot of links. Sometimes the portal keys belonging to this connection drop near the portal then. So you can collect them and use them for your own links then.
And you lose the portal keys when you establish the connection.
Right. So to link this triangle, you have to have one of the portal keys twice, mostly.
Or you walk in a triangle.
Or you walk in a triangle and you're really lucky because you got every portal key by hacking. So there's some helper tools. Two I want to show you. This is the official thing, ingress.com/intel. You can only visit it if your account is activated. And if so, you have a special Google Maps view. You can enter an address on the upper right, and you see also the current score. You see your level, your XM. Here's a chat. There's a global chat and a chat only with your faction. This is also in the app. And you can chat with people who are in the app and vice versa. And here you can see everything, but you can't do anything. So you can plan your trips. For example, when I planned my trip to Bremen, I checked out where are the portals, where should I go. So I saw it's right in front the train station, so I didn't have to plan anything. There's some more to kill, of course, and I will, but not today, or maybe later. So I can see, and if I click on it, you see the energy level and who built it, and you can do a bit of intelligence. That's why Intel.
But it's not that easy with that Intel map because of the bottom right text on that map. You can in this view you can only see level 1 to level 8 portals.
Yeah.
When you want to find some open portals, then
the
you
gray
need
ones.
to
The gray ones.
the gray ones, yeah. Then you need to zoom in to the map, so you can zoom out to whole of the world and see, hey, there are too many portals in a village in here or so. So that's very hard to plan it with that.
There's a little trick. If you zoom in, so the map gives you all, you can use the zoom out not from Google Maps but from the website itself. So all fonts will get unreadable, but you see all portals. Yeah. The gray ones are interesting because you can, even as a level 1 player, you can capture them with your level 1 resonators. You don't have to fire any bomb. So it's very easy, and it gives you relatively a lot of points to capture this. So if you want, as a higher level player, if you want to help people bomb the portal down and let them do all the build-up work first, you can upgrade the portals later to a higher level, but they get the points which are necessary. The first few steps to, like, say, level 3 or 4 are relatively close to the start. So it should be not that hard to get to level 3 in a few hours. So, and there's a Google non-Niantic lab app, and this is Ingress Portals. I highly recommend it as a beginner because on the left, so if you swipe the app on the left, you have a wiki. With the wiki tells you a lot of how much energy does a resonator have. It tells you a lot of how many XMP damage does it make, and how many points do I need, or how many points do I get for a certain action. All these things are integrated there. There's a free app which has ads in it. But if you use it a bit, consider buying it for €1. It's from a GDG member in Barcelona, and thank him a bit for his work, because this normally should be in the app itself, I feel like. And this funny thing here is something I did not mention yet. To have links, they have to be within the range of the portals, and the range is calculated by the level of resonators you put in. So this is highly complex. So you have a little calculator. You can say, okay, I put in the level 2 resonator, I put level 2, level 2, level 4, level 4, level 5, level 8. And this has a range for 24 kilometers. And so, if you want to do city-to-city links, you really have to calculate how many players you need for this, because even though I'm level 6, I can only place 2 level 5 resonators, 2 level 6 resonators. If I'm level 7, I can only add 1 level 7 resonator and 1 level 8. The maximum would be 8 level 8 resonators, which would use 8 level 8 players, because they only can place 1 level 8 resonator.
Du kannst aber 2 davon.
Nein.
Doch.
Nein.
Ich hab's gerade gesehen. Nein.
6? Ja, aber 8 nicht mehr. Okay. Dann haben sie es geändert, weil es steht auch noch im Wiki so.
Die okay. Dort 10, ne?
Then you only need 4 people, obviously. But still, at the higher levels, at the high range portals, it will turn into teamwork at last. You can do more teamwork in the beginning. For example, if you walk around with a few friends and bomb portals, it's much easier to take it down. But you should talk about who gets the build-up work, because there's very easy points. Yes. Questions so far?
How do they do the game balancing? Like if you're a really new player, and there's all like level 8 stuff that you're scared of, what do you do? You just can't play, or you go to the outskirts, or
so one thing is they're constantly adding suggested portals. So if you're really screwed and they're only level 8 of the other factions, then you walk around, take some photos of statues and stuff, and if you use the share intent of your Android and you have Ingress installed, although your account is not even activated, you can all do this now. You have a new share provider called NIA SuperOps, which is preparing an email in a certain format and checks if your picture has a geotag, and then you can suggest the photo. And a few weeks, it's told that it costs 4 to 6 weeks. Then it gets added to the thing, and it's gray. Then you have to be quick captured. Normally, you should have some assistance from your teammates. So you can, of course, try to bomb a big portal, but the energy amount in a level 6 portal, for example, is like 30 times your bar of energy. You can try. If no one maintains the portal, you will do it eventually. You can take it down. There's nothing hindering you. The problem is only the amount of items you have in your inventory, because bombs get used, of course. And the second thing is that people can add energy either through portal key. They can use it from their own couch. If they have a portal key, they can maintain the thing from the couch. And the second thing is they can go near, just walk by and add some energy. But there's one thing playing in your favor. Every day, 10% of the energy drops automatically. So if you don't maintain your own portals, they will get gray after 10 days. So there's always a bit of movement anyway. If you are level 1, you have to use the infill map more to check out where the energy level is low, where can I hit, or where can I wait for tomorrow or something. Yeah, but I think there has to be some more, maybe more inventory at first, or more, you get like 10 bursters by hacking, something like that. But if you played a bit like me, I played for a month now. I don't know, 2 months? I don't know. How long is it open? Like, yeah, okay. 2 months?
Yeah.
2.5
long. But you were right with the 7 and 8 level resonator. Sorry.
Okay, so you need 8 level 8 players to place 8 resonators of level 8. A lot of 8 in one sentence.
Level 7.
Level 7 the same, yeah.
Can you hit the other players?
No, you can't even see them.
you can just go there.
So right now,
Take the mobile phone and drop it into the
actually that happened a lot. That in Berlin, where in places with a lot of portals, like the Alexanderplatz, I was standing there maintaining my portal, and suddenly a guy next to me standing there with the Nexus 7. And I said, oh, this looks like Ingress. And I immediately got some emails that my resonators are being destroyed right now. I could have punched him. I didn't, of course. No, because I had the portal key, I didn't have to be there to repower it. But instead I started moving to collect XM, because if I power my portal, I lose my energy bar. And if my energy bar is to 0, I can't repower my portal. So what I'm trying to do there is recharge my resonators more than the guy can bomb away in the same amount of time. So that is the battle Martin and I are doing
later on. We'll see. So maybe important if you build higher level portals, they export more energy around them. So if you just build a level 1 portal, it puts out a bit of XM, which you can collect, but if you do a level 4 or level 6 portal, there's way more energy. And they need 20 minutes to recover. So if you collect an XM, it's gone for all players. But if you wait 20 minutes, they reappear in the same position. The only thing is, if you go in groups and go at the same pace, you can collect the same XM, seemingly. I'm not sure if it really works, but there are some race condition issues still on the... They fixed a bit, but with the XM it still seems to work to collect the same XM if you walk side by side. Other questions?
Can you run out of this XMP thing?
Yeah, it's an item in your inventory.
And you just use it once and
you
then
use once and then it's gone.
And then you cannot attack any portals. Or can you attack still?
Sorry?
Can you still attack a portal if you don't have a...
No. You can only use what you have.
And you can hack.
So, who feels like that now? Who has the first word problem? So, who wants to solve this? Who wants to try it out? You need an Android device with at least 2.2 on it and a lot of time.
And a lot of RAM and a lot of time.
Yeah, and you need to be prepared to buy an extra battery pack for your...
Really, yeah.
So it's a standard issue for players who play regularly to buy some USB charger you can walk around with. But I must really say the Nexus 7 with 3G is a great Ingress device. I love it for that. The battery power is way better than a normal phone, and the bigger screen size is nice too. So I really recommend it. But it comes without an Ingress invite. It should come with one. So I think, so how many people want to have an invite? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Right? Okay, then we don't have to raffle. You remember everyone, right? Everyone? Okay. Yeah.
Can I take one with me?
Like no. And then
one free invite for whoever I want.
okay, you have an invite already.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we start with the people that are here.
Okay.
And if there's one left, you can take it with to your friend or whoever. Yes.
Great.
We have. I have 10 to offer, so maybe even 11 if I go against according to my email from yesterday. Yes. So. So why? I mean, it's fun and all, but Google is still a company who wants to earn money, I guess. So what could be the reason to do something like that? Which data?
Locations.
Locations?
24/7. And everywhere you go, harvesting XM. You know,
that's why latitude exists. For the data, wherever you are.
Yeah, but still.
Nobody uses latitude. And points of interest gathering.
But you don't need
okay. Any other ideas or agreement to this idea? I mean, photos. Photos of sites.
Also places.
Okay.
Well, at least they collect geodata with it, and I think it's also a marketing version for these new Google glasses which are coming out.
Ah, okay. Planning. Okay, I see. So, one guy working a lot of with Google Maps from Hamburg. Martin Kleppel. Yeah?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah. He told me that he thinks this is for the data where you can walk. So, because you know that you can calculate where to walk with Google Maps, but this is still beta, and they try to collect footpaths because you mostly are. I mean, if you're lazy, you're in a car, right?
But it doesn't work for every portal.
That's true. I mean, 40 meters are very. It's very narrow if you are in a car because you can't go close to a portal every time. Mostly
But I can show you how to. No.
Yeah. So the idea is maybe to collect some more data on where you can walk by foot to improve the maps results. I don't know, maybe this is a question we can answer later.
Oh, I got an interesting idea. Can't you fake a position on the developer?
That doesn't work.
Yeah, so normal mock locations doesn't work. The game is complaining about that.
Okay.
But there are other. If you're on a rooted device, there are some other ways. They're still blocking down the possibilities, but they're not quite there yet.
Okay.
So we have indeed, you see, in the global chat you can see all the things that happen. And sometimes you have people jumping from Hamburg to Leipzig to Munich in a few minutes and building up stuff there. So it's obvious that they are cheating.
You mean our 1.5 million mind units field from Bielefeld, Hannover to Bremen? For about 1 day?
Okay. So, can everybody read this? So this is a typical thing. And yeah, you can read. You can see it later on my computer if you can't read it. So this is what I think I'm doing. This is what my wife think I'm doing. What Brandon Badger thinks I'm doing. If you are on Google Plus and following the discussion around Ingress, you know this name already because it's a project lead. So everyone who wants an invite constantly mentions Brandon Badger. I don't want to see his notification counter because he's getting mentioned like mad. Yeah, if my boss would see me, it would look like that. For my friends who don't play Ingress, it looks like in the video, but this is Martin over there. Yeah. So.
But with more people in the car because one has to drive.
No, he's driving himself.
Yeah, that's not that easy.
It's a self-driving car. That's why they build a self-driving car.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But self-driving car doesn't work on footpaths.
Yeah. It's just extra control for it.
A self-driving Segway.
Yeah. Next idea.
So. That was the intro into Ingress. I hope you had a bit of fun and you have now a better understanding what Ingress is. Yes?
I don't know if we have time, but can you tell more about the story behind it? Because they have this funky website with all the info. What's
the video? I don't know. The video doesn't tell you.
No, I've seen the demo video of this. People hacking monuments. And I checked out the website, this board, but I still didn't get completely what this Niantic thing is.
So the backstory is someone else's computer is always supreme. Schokoladenmuffins. Problem would be the sound now, right?
Security to be a risk. That was the mistake.
We are on this.
Okay. So,
do you personally use try to solve these riddles on the website or not? They're kind of complicated. Like I tried one, it was something with video and QR tag. I scanned the QR tag.
Steve, kannst du meine Tür zumachen, bitte?
Ja.
Dankeschön.
Yeah, the riddles on the website.
Yeah, so I can show you something. Here. On this website, on the lower right, there's an input passcode field. And those passcodes, if you're oblivious, you just find them on G+ or in the global chat, but this doesn't tell you where they come from. There's a website called niantecproject.com, I think it is, where you can see from the video you just saw a wall with some hints or some files pinned to that. And this is where the backstory is being told, obviously. But inside all the files you get, so each day they're adding a few more bits of the backstory, like some photos or a text chat log or an email excerpt, or they add a soundbite from an emergency call. And all these things tell you the backstory. But inside those files are hidden some clues, and some are very easy, where you just have to scan the whole picture and you see in gray, dark gray, in light gray or something, you can see the code. That was one of the easy ones. Other things involve converting Morse code taken from the dots and dashes from a whole text into language, or if you zoom into a picture, you see a lot of color dots which don't belong to the background color. So you see like there's a little pink dot and there's a little green dot, and then you take the color values of that and use the hexadecimal system to convert them into letters, and then you have your code. This is still easy. So there's a blog called Decode Ingress on WordPress, and they have lengthy articles about how these things are being decrypted. And I tell you, some are going 3 screens with the most ridiculous ways of solving, and I bow to everyone who can solve any of those. I scan those solutions and I'm just stunned by how people can A, come up with that, but B, also solve this. This is crazy, really. So if you enter into riddles, you have a second idea of what you can do there. Besides running around outside, you can use your skills at solving riddles to get items, because if you enter this code, if it's the right one, if you enter it either in the app or on this website, your account gets added a few more XM, a few more points for your leveling, and some items without hacking. So that's about the codes. And no, I can't do it. So I'd say we do the distribution of the codes later. Otherwise, you just want to run outside. And if there are not any more questions, I want to hand over to Philip, so he finally gets to have his developer-oriented talk. Moderate, yeah, developer-oriented. That's the keyword. So Matthias set up a moderator, which is a tool for collecting questions, if you don't know it, where we collect questions, technical questions, to how the app is being built, or how this internet is being built. If you have any specific questions to solutions they use and you don't know how that exactly is done,
add them to the moderator tool. It's in the event, right? In the comments. Yes. And we'll try, or I'll try to contact Niantic in a few days to ask them these questions and find a way how they answer it. We hope to make it in a Hangout and also a Hangout on air, so you can watch this later on. Yeah, please check if the questions you want to ask are already there, so just upload them. And we make this a global thing, so if people in other GDG chapters have questions, they can add their question there too. Yeah. And no, there's no public API yet. And everybody who uses this data to scrape it from the page gets a nice email from the team, and if they continue to do it, they get a nice ban for their account. Yeah. So they're working on an API, but it's still not public. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Guten Tag. I thought I would give the presentation in Deutsch because I studied Deutsch for 4 years.
Oh.
Yeah, but then I remembered I failed totally. I have no idea how you use that language. So sorry, English. So Dart, first of all, can I just check who here considers himself or herself programmer in JavaScript? Okay, Java. Okay, C++ Sharp or whatever. Okay, wow. Okay, so nice. Pretty much everyone at some point rose their heads, so that's great. I'll tell you how I'll structure this little thing. At first, I'll give you a presentation about why Dart, why Google does Dart, why Google made Dart, and why we're working on it. That's gonna take 4 to 5 minutes. Then we're gonna go deeper into the features of Dart, and hopefully in 30 minutes we can start actually hacking in Dart. This will take up to 2 hours. So there's the code lab in this thing that can take up to 2 hours. I'm pretty sure you will be over much sooner, but still, if you think that you don't have the time, I won't be offended if you just leave and go. I would be kind of offended if you leave now. So wait for at least 5 minutes or something. Okay. Nice. Okay, I can also use computer sometimes, but not today. Oh yeah, that's So why Dart? Yeah, put stuff in front of the. Thank you.
What is it?
That's enough. That's yeah. Okay, so why Dart? 4 minutes, right? So we can probably all agree that web is probably the biggest platform right now. It's definitely the most promising. It's the platform that has the most users right now, and so on and so on. So that is a big deal. Sorry, web is the big deal. But the problem is right now is that you don't really have much choice when you're programming for the web platform, right? You pretty much have JavaScript, and then you probably want to use some sugar on top, like CoffeeScript, whatever, jQuery, stuff like that. Almost no one uses vanilla JavaScript today. And then you have a text editor on top of that, so Sublime, TextEdit, Vim, what have you. And this is pretty much it, right? So you have JavaScript, you have some syntactic sugar on top, and a text editor. Now, if you're a JavaScript developer, you don't find anything bad with that, and you shouldn't, because that's how it works, and that's how people have done web development for ages now. The problem is when you're starting to think about really complex apps and large teams and stuff like that, and especially when you're talking with people who are not JavaScript gurus, then you have a problem, right? So if you take this to the normal desktop PC, desktop or Mac platform, then imagine what it would make this, how web development or development on Mac would look like if you only had one scripting language and a text editor. So imagine that you're Adobe and you want to do Photoshop in Python. If you would start like this, probably it kind of looks that it's not gonna happen. Like, it could happen very theoretically. You could program Photoshop in Python, but normal companies will probably say, no, we want something bigger, right? So Xcode, for example, in Mac, whatever else, but a bigger, more power, more structured languages, and so on and so forth. So this is just to say that when you're a big company or even a small company, but you want to do complex stuff, you are pretty much you have JavaScript, and that's it, right? And so that it's gotten so bad that companies like Google, for example, use Java that is compiled to JavaScript, and then it's run on the client side. Which is also kind of sad, especially if you don't like Java. So, this is kind of the state of affairs right now. And so Dart is choice. It's the message I want to say here is Dart is not going to, as a lot of people have said, let us like kill JavaScript or something like that. It's just another language that's that's already happening on the web. So what is Dart? Well, Dart is a language. We'll go and dive into it later. But the big thing is it's not just JavaScript with some sugar on top. It's actually a different language with different semantics that are hopefully better than what you're used to with JavaScript in many places. It's not only language though, it's also a set of libraries. There's a lot of libraries that are inside Dart right now in the SDK, and of course you can do your own libraries. It's an editor, so you have stuff like step-by-step debugging, stuff that you're probably used to when you're developing big applications for the desktop. You have it there. Then there is the Dart on the command line. So if you're familiar with Node.js, this is how Dart can run also. So you have a server side to running the same code. There's package management app called Pub, because you play Dart in Pub. And that also makes your life a lot easier, and it has really interesting things going on there. And then there's, of course, last but not least, there's Dart2.js. So all your apps, if you make them in Dart, you can translate them to JavaScript and run them on any modern browser today. So this is how it works, right? So that's Dart. Any questions so far? Why Google made this and stuff like that? So why Google made it? Okay. I just that's very actually that's very easy. Google has always kind of thrived when there was more applications on the web, because Google is
kind of search engine, and it's kind of a big deal to have somewhere to take people to, right? So, for example, you know about Chrome and Chrome OS, and if there are some more web apps, more complex web apps, not just, you know, ticket reservation systems, but really complex web apps, then Chrome OS makes much more sense than now, and so on and so on. So it's like an investment to the system, or to the ecosystem, sorry, where we live. So let's switch to the actual features. So as I said before, or there's here, this is like the PR message. I just want to walk you through it. So Dart helps developers from all platforms. So this is very important, because this is not just people who already use JavaScript. This is also for people who are familiar with Java, for example, and all the tooling in Java, or C# or ActionScript. They can use Dart to, you know, so if, for example, if you're a Flash game programmer, Dart will come much more naturally to you than JavaScript, because it has, you know, classes and stuff like that. Complex is not just complex like you know, zillion lines of code. It's also complex like you want to use these libraries, you have like 100 people on the team, and so on and so forth. Again, you can do this in JavaScript, of course. All of this can be done in JavaScript, but it's like saying that all of this can be done in assembler. Of course it can, but we want to make it easier. High performance is a big deal, because even if you have a web app like Gmail, you want to, you know, have like 60 FPS. You want to have it be very fluid, very smooth, and it just doesn't make sense to do stuff that's slow. And it's basically mostly about client apps, but of course you can do, as I told you before, you can do server with Dart too. Right, it's open source, and it's kind of reaching for the HTML5 stuff that is happening right now. It's just trying to make it much more easier to use. So if you're on JavaScript and you want to use stuff like web components, for example, does everyone know what web components are? Like, yeah. So it's like you define your tag. For example, I don't know, to-do list item, and that is your tag that you can use in your HTML, and that tag is can be anything. Like you can put different, you know, divs inside, and it can work like that, and it's more semantic. So you have like really like my tag that is to-do element, and that tag is binded like, you know, AngularJS stuff with other stuff. So so it's really cool, but it's coming to JavaScript in maybe a year. But we already have polyfills in Dart, so that you can use it right now, and so on and so forth. And so it should come more naturally. Or stuff like local storage is kind of pain to use in JavaScript. In Dart, it's very easy because it's been designed for that. The language itself, we're gonna go into it right now, but it should be familiar to all these people. It has like, you know, curly brackets and stuff like that. If it's so, the team got a lot of flag and a lot of, you know, negative feedback that it's not the new Haskell or the new Ruby or stuff like that. But the point is, they didn't want to make any surprises to people who are already, you know, familiar with stuff like this. So the language is actually pretty boring on the surface, but hopefully useful. So code. Yay. So I want to switch to, hopefully I'm not gonna Do you see? You don't see, right? Sorry.
You can move your chair around here.
I'll try to be like that. Did you see something at least? So,
be more transparent.
I'm gonna make a new application called Bremen. And so, hopefully, yeah. So we have this standard application that is made anytime you start a new project. I'll just show you that it works, hopefully. Okay, so this is what it does, right? This is the code, but we don't want to go into it. So, don't
you make it bigger?
Yes, maybe not.
I think you have to go to the preferences.
I think so, yes.
So,
Is that enough for you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I can see it. Brilliant.
Is it kind of... Or more?
No, that's okay. I think it's fine.
It's fine, okay. So, few things. There is the import statement that tells you that you want to use this library. Then there's the main function, which is pretty big deal because you can only have one main function, and that's the starting point of your programs. So you definitely, whenever you see some code, you know where you start, which is not so clear in JavaScript, for example, right? And so let's make a class. Yeah. That's the question. Even before
What about different entry points in web applications?
Just one, just main.
And it gets all redirected afterwards, like in this, under code, because you can have different URLs, right? Or don't you?
Oh, you can. Well, but you don't. You don't normally. So you compile
it's
your.
a single page application all the time. Or?
It's yes. So you can interoperate with that. That's advanced. but normally you just.
Hey, I might 5 minutes.
So normally you only want one entry point, and let's do a class called person. Just so that you get a feel, and that class should have a name, right? So very okay. Is new. Sorry.
So
yeah,
not part of the code.
No, not part of the code. I just want you to see the see the code. So this is kind of what you would expect. You have code completion, so. You already have this new field called name that you can use, and so we can do other stuff though. So for example, yeah. So this is how you could do it, right? So f name is Philip, and we have a person with the name Philip. But that's probably not a nice way to do this. So we want to have constructor, and that constructor should take a name. I'll do it the bad way, and then I'll show you how to make it better. This name is name, right? Everybody knows it's already. I don't know if you can see it, but this. Oh yeah, you can see it. Is saying missing argument of type dynamic. So I'm trying to do something that it knows that should be there. So I can do stuff like this, and now I don't need that. But this is very common, right? You have a constructor that you pass an argument, and then that argument gets copied to the actual field of the class. So you don't really need to use this. You can just say this name. It's kind of a syntactic sugar there, and it's the same thing. So you just said you know, a new constructor that says this name, that gets the name and assigns it to the name, right? Then you want to, another very cool feature, at least for what I use, is name constructors. So you can have, okay, name is anonymous. So now we have a constructor that they can say that there's a new person, and instead of doing something like this, which is really ugly, or you know, like I don't know, maybe something else, I can just say person anonymous, and voila, I have my anonymous person. Sir?
Anonymous is a function name you chose. It's not,
Yes, I can. Yeah, I could do like a special function for anything else. So that's just name constructors. Now I want to print, for example, F, right? So what I have right now is a web app, but the print will just log into the console. So when I hit run right now, it will launch the web browser, but nothing will happen there, and everything will happen in this area right here, because I'm just, you know, I could make this into a server-side app, but I won't. So let's do this. Okay, we have the page, but we also have this thing here, right? I printed out that F is instance of a person. Now I don't need that's probably pretty ugly. We want to, if we print F, we probably want to see the name, right? So every class can have this toString, you probably know this, from other languages, and that class can return name, right? And if it works. So I printed F. F is a class, and that class has a toString method, and that returns a name. Again, more syntactic sugar. I don't need to, if I just have return name, or if I just return something and it's just a one-line thing, I don't need to do this horrible thing around. I just can do this, right? And it should hopefully work again, right? It works. And yes.
toString, there's no type specified that.
Right, I could do this. And
okay, but string, is it type known because you override your string? Or is it specified with the value to return?
Yeah, so I could return 0, for example. It's very, so we're getting to this. So as you can see, I haven't specified any types yet, but I can. And the toString is kind of magic because every class can have toString, and it is supposed to return string. I don't know what would happen actually if I tried to return something else than string. We can use it, try it later. But what I want to show you now is that, for example, here, if you're doing, especially if you're hacking on something, you probably just use vars. Especially if you're from the JavaScript world, you don't really need to, overthink this. But then if you're doing something like library, or if you're doing something that you want to reuse later, you probably want to use types. Types are optional in Dart, so you don't need to use them. You don't even, the program will run even if you have something like a type mismatch. So but it will scream at you at compile time, and because we're running in like a development environment, it will scream and stop on runtime too. But okay, so string name, everything works again. If I wanted to do something like this, it will give me this warning. You can't sign there, right? And I guess that's, oh, you can do operator overloading, so person, I don't know, this, you know, you can say if I multiply Philip by 2, I get 2 Philips in a list or something, right? So very stuff like this. And as I told you, there's a lot of stuff in the library itself. So I could do set of strings that is text, nice, right? And then of course I would have to initialize it. But then because this whole is, you know, the tooling is possible with this, I can do stuff like look at the class. So I just hit F3 and I looked at the class and what it does and what I can use there. So I can add, remove, add all, remove all, and stuff like that. So yes.
Is it all like that well documented?
Sorry?
Is it all like that well documented?
Yes, yes, definitely. And you also have api.lang.org, and there you have all these you know, libraries, and you can search for you know, set, and when you have at least a little bit faster internet connection, you can look at this, and it's actually looking quite good. So you can go to extend subsets and stuff like that. So
how do I make my own code? Is it like in Java with Java docs?
Yes, you have something like Dart docs, which are similar to Java docs but not so. And you have like a tool that converts it. So something. Yeah. Okay. So I think, oh yeah, and then I can do new method. The last thing is, you know, say hi, and it will do something like print, hi, my name is name. Right? There you can see string interpolation, so you don't need to do plus, you know, you actually can't do string plus string. You either interpolate or you do something else, but because of the, you know, statistics, you probably want to do this. And so now that I defined it, I can do f, say hi, right? And but I can also do, so I'll just run it so that you can see that it works. Hi, my name is Philip, and another nice thing is in JavaScript, a lot of libraries return this, so that you can do stuff like f, say hi, die. You know, you know what I mean, right? So you do stuff like this, which is kind of, it's possible, of course, in Dart. I could always return this. But that kind of sucks to return this for every, you know, I don't want to return this. So you have another way to do this. I just want to, right, so this doesn't work, but this will. This is called cascading. And it's the same thing as in stuff like jQuery, but without the need to use this. It just says with F, first do this, then you do that. Let's try it out. Yeah, okay, it works. So that's a language from 50,000 feet, and now can probably. Oh yeah. So optional types. I showed you that. You have lexical this and lexical scoping, which is again a big deal. If you're not from JavaScript, you don't even want to know about this, but in JavaScript you have really bad this. It can be anything really, so you have to do stuff that is really not that nice. This is actually really nice to us JavaScript people. And then you have all the libraries, so you can define libraries, and of course you can import, you can re-export, do different kind of stuff with this. It's again, you can do this in JavaScript, but it's not as easy. You have all these bundled libraries that some of them really make your life a lot easier, and you would have to do them yourself. So crypto, for example, making hashes and stuff like that, internationalization, mirrors for mirroring and so forth and so on. Then you have isolates. So isolate is, who here knows about isolates from other languages? No one? Okay, so threading in Java and in other languages is a mess. It's really complicated, and there's a lot of bugs in every software that is somehow connected to threading. Threading is just a really hard problem. So what Erlang did 10 years ago, and what Dart is doing today, is isolates. Isolate is pretty much that you have your main function, your main program, and that main program can spawn an isolate or many isolates, which are programs, or I don't know, they have their own heap. Sorry, they have everything on their own. They're isolated. That's why they're called isolates. And they can when they and when they crash, you don't really mind. You have your main isolate, and that works. So sorry. And that's a big deal, because now you have threading in really, like you have, for example, if you have 4 cores, you can run the isolates on different cores. You can even run the isolates on different computers. And the only thing that how they can communicate is by messages. So you don't need to look at if this file is locked by that thread and so on and so forth. They're just really isolated, and all you can do is messages. So why this is important? For example, let's say that you have an HTTP server in Dart, which is, again, it is very easy to use, to do. And this is actual example. So you made a very unoptimized HTTP server that does this: receive request, handle request, locate to disk, go to one. It takes 184 microseconds to do this, and that's, well, whatever, it's 184 microseconds. But if you look closely, you see that 164, so 90% almost of the time, is taken by loading the request to disk, right? Which is not really good, because you have all the other requests waiting for this guy to just lock the request to disk, because I/O. So what you can do is you have 2 isolates. The main isolate will just receive request, handle request, and then send message to the locker isolate, and that one will log it to file. And now you have, instead of 184, you have 41 microseconds per request.
Yes. Does it mean you have a blocking I/O library?
Yes, yes, you can do there's so and that's a huge improvement, of course. And then just to be clear, of course, JavaScript itself doesn't have threads. So when you're running on the web server, the client in the browser, it only makes it easier for you to do this, but it won't actually make it faster, right? On server side, it will, because you can actually run on a different thread, on a different CPU, for example. In JavaScript, it will just make it very isolated, so you have stuff that's running outside your main thread. As I told you, Dart is already capable of going to JavaScript or compiling to JavaScript. It's much more than just what is called transpiling. So if you know TypeScript by Microsoft, or you know all these other languages that are built on top of JavaScript, most of them are just transpiled, which is it's not really compiled. It's just transcribing of stuff that is being done in normal JavaScript. Chrome is much more different, so it has to do some compiling, but fortunately there is we'll get to that later. So if you want to do a web app, which is what you will do today, then you import the Dart HTML, and that library has a lot of stuff like button elements. So if you want to, if you just go to through this code, it's probably very self-explanatory. So you create a new button element. You say that the text of the button element is "click me." Every element exposes classes. Well, exposes fields like classes, and so in this example, it's a set, so you can add to it, you can remove from it, you can check if there is something in it. Even in jQuery, it's a little bit more complicated to actually add a class or remove a class. And then you have on-click elements, and this just says clicked. And then you add the element to the body. Very readable, I think. And it's also, all of this is pretty much most of what you do with DOM nowadays, right? You probably want to create an element, you want to put it into the DOM, you want to add classes, remove classes, and add events. That's pretty much it. As I showed you before, you can make it much shorter with the cascading. So you can run Dart in any modern browser through Dart.js. So if I went back to the Dart editor, you will try that later. So I won't do this right now, but you can just say. It's probably better too. So you can say, okay, run in Dartium. This is what happens. So I have this, right? Probably should do something like so. Sorry. Like this. Should work. Yes. So this is now running in Dartium, which is Chromium with the Dart VM already in that. This is not a version that you normally get. No users use Dartium, but it's there because you want to, like with this, still your compiler is refresh button, right? It's very easy and very fast to actually compile anything. On the other hand, you probably want to try this out with in JavaScript too. So, for example, in Firefox. So what you do is run in JavaScript, and what hopefully So what the Dart editor does is it compiles your Dart code to JavaScript and then makes it work in anywhere else. So that you believe me, I'll just use Firefox for this. Okay, right? So and it's very easy, and also the what would
can you show me this in the ISM?
Sir?
Can you show me this in the ISM?
ISM. Unfortunately, I don't have ISM. But
he said modern browser.
Yeah. No. Yes, modern browsers. So IE9 and everything else. Yeah. So as you can see, you can use it now. You can even debug it, even though it's already compiled to JavaScript. Thanks to the magic of source maps, you can actually look into the JavaScript code and debug as in Dart. That's a big thing in Dart editor, is that you can say, I want to breakpoint here, and you can run it, and it makes the breakpoint. And let's see, actually.
Can you later show how you can you also debug it running the Dart in Firefox and then still get your breakpoints fired up?
I don't think so. No. Okay. You can use this if Firefox uses source maps, you can see exactly where a problem occurs. You can also probably do breakpoints. I don't know if Firefox uses this, but you won't see it in Dart editor. So here we just stop on printf, right? I think, and so we can play more and so on and so forth. So okay. Back to this. Did I just? Another big deal is snapshots. So this is not something that, of course, you can do with compiled JavaScript, but Dart, the VM team is actually working on something called snapshots. If you think about this, so whenever you go to Gmail, for example, the browser needs to parse all the JavaScript files, and it's actually one big huge file. It needs to parse it. It needs to make it into an executable, if you will, and then it runs it. What Dart tries to do is, when you've done this once, then just before running the code, the browser will make a snapshot, and then anytime you come back to this site and the source hasn't changed, it will start without the parsing. And as you can see here, it will actually cut off 90% of the startup time just by not parsing JavaScript every time you go to a site, right? So it's really like that. Like, for example, Gmail has kilobytes and kilobytes of JavaScript code that needs to be parsed every time you open the page. And what they actually do, that's crazy, but they have the parts of the JavaScript code are in comments, and so what they do is they only parse so that it's at least a little bit faster. They have this bootstrapping part that just runs first, and then it will go into the comments, and it will get the code from the comments and eval it, and so that it can run later, right? So things like that are happening in JavaScript, and this is one way to prevent this from happening. Again, V8, this is the higher the better. So if they are already, these guys actually, the guys who are doing .vm are pretty much all V8 guys, so they're beating themselves. But you can see that it's already much faster .vm than V8, of course, because it's a language that's designed to be faster. Yeah. Dart editor, you'll see there's also Dart is also already supported in Eclipse, in IntelliJ, in Vim somehow, and in Sublime. It's not, of course, as much feature perfect as in Dart editor, but it's gonna come. And I think WebStorm already has pretty nice support for that. There's PUB, whatever, and then there's web components. As I told you before, a new very shiny stuff that's happening in HTML5. It's happening for JavaScript in a year. In Dart you can use it right now because there's support for that. This is how it works. So if you look at Gmail now, you have all this. And hopefully in the future it could look like this. This is the web components, this is not web components. Yeah, automatic. So I think, in the future, we already actually have mixins. So there's a new milestone coming every few months. They're pushing for 1.0, hopefully later this year. So the language, it should be noted that the language is still not final. It's still being worked on, but it's the biggest changes are already like behind us, and now they're more like doing and working on the editor and stuff like that. Yeah. So with that, I think we can have a break, and if you're still interested in Dart, we can start with the code lab. And yeah, okay, thank you.